Hey everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to get perfect shiny eggs in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. This is going to be using RNG manipulation, and it's going to cover the entire process from getting the parents to getting the final egg. Now, before we continue, let me say that this is different than how it works in the Sinnoh games, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. So if you want to do it in those, please check out my tutorial on that. It is a little bit different, so you can't use this guide for it. With that being said, let's go over what you're going to need both in-game and out-of-game. In-game, you're going to need a few things, and most of it is the standard Pokemon catching stuff. So for egg hatching, you'll need a Pokemon with Flame Body. I've got my Magmortar here. Flame Body or Magma Armor speed up the amount of time eggs hatch, so it is handy to have one of those in the front of your party. You're also going to want a Pokemon with Sweet Scent. This is to RNG manipulate the parents, so I'll be using an Oddish here. Oddish are plentiful, and they always have the move. Lastly, for Pokemon, you're going to want 2 Chadots. You don't actually need 2, you can get by with 1, but I find that 2 is the most helpful because it just lets you do the RNG advancements a little bit speedier. They need to be level 21, and they need to know the move Chatter. This is a move that makes Chatot have a custom cry, so I'll play it for you now. A lot of people ask how you get the custom recorded chatter. When they hit level 21, they learn the move Chatter, and then you can select it like a field move, like Fly or Defog or something like that. And then when you pick it, it will ask you to record it, and you can yell into the DS microphone to make a custom sound. You can make it say whatever you want. I usually just do a scream or something like that. Chatot is very easy to catch in this game. You can catch it in the bell tower on like the 2nd or 3rd floor, and you just need to use the Sinnoh radio feature. You have to be in the post game to catch it, but it's not difficult to get at all. Okay, so aside from Pokemon, make sure that you have plenty of Pokeballs that will help you catch the Pokemon that you're going to be using as the parents. And then the last thing you're going to need is your secret ID. Your secret ID is something that you can obtain either by catching a shiny or by RNGing it at the start of the game. I RNG'd it at the start of the game, and I have a tutorial for that, which a link for in the description will be, and it'll also be in a playlist that this video is in. In addition to that, I'll be releasing a video soon on how to find your secret ID in Heart Gold and Soul Silver without restarting your game. So stay tuned for that if you don't want to actually reset your game to get your secret ID. Okay, so with all of the in-game stuff done, let's go to the out-of-game stuff. Out-of-game, we're going to need Pokefinder by Admiral Fish, which is in the upper right-hand corner of my screen, and we're going to need Eon Timer 3.0 by Das Ampharos. Let's go with Eon Timer first to cover the setup. So we're going to want to make sure we're in the Gen 4 tab, and the calibrated delay set to 486, and the calibrated second, make sure it's 14. Target delay and target second we'll come back to later. Those are going to be where our actual target Pokemon are at. Then we're going to hit the settings cog here, and a little preferences window will pop up, and we're going to click the timer tab. With the timer, there's a few different consoles you could pick. You could pick NDS, DSi, or 3DS. Just depends on what console you're playing on. NDS is for both the DS and the DS Lite. I'm playing on an original DS, so I'm going to select that. Don't touch refresh interval or precision calibration. Okay, so Eon Timer is all set up for now. Let's go into Pokefinder. Now, Pokefinder is how we're going to be finding both our parents and how we're going to be finding our egg. But before we find the parents, we need to know like what type of parents we actually need. So I'm going to click Gen 4 tab, and then I'm going to click the egg tab. This window will pop up, and if you don't have a profile in Pokefinder, make sure to set one up. You can do it by clicking the manager button, and a special window will pop up, and you can type your trainer ID, your secret ID, and what game you're playing. So I'm playing on my PKtopia save file. Then we're going to click the searcher tab. Now in here, what we're going to be doing is filtering for the IVs. If you only want to RNG for a shiny, aka the PID, you can skip to that section of the guide. What I'm going to be covering from here for quite a while is how to find the proper IV parents for your eventual good IV egg. Okay, so make sure the IVs is selected as your method. Ignore PID advanced for now. And then IV advanced set to 0 to 100, that's fine. And delay set from 500 to 2000. I think that's also fine. Now for the parents, what we're going to want to do is type in the IVs that we want the child to have. So let's assume our parents have the exact IVs for what I want. Now I want a Hidden Power Ground Yanma. So what we're going to do is type in the IVs for both parents as Hidden Power Ground. So it's going to be 31 and then an even number for attack, and then 31 for defense, and then 30 for special attack and special defense, and then 31 for speed. Then we're going to set the parents to male and female. And now what we're going to do is type in the IVs that we want for the child to have, which is going to be the same as the parents. So 31, 30. Then for all of this other stuff here, we're going to avoid most of it. Ability, gender ratio we can set, but it doesn't really matter right now. And shininess, these are all for the PID only. None of these happen with the IVs, including nature. The only thing we're going to be selecting right now is the hidden power that we want. And I want a hidden power ground Yanmega in the end of this. After that, we're going to hit search, and you should get a decent amount of results fairly quickly. I'm going to wait for this to fill out a bit. We're going to want to make sure that the hidden power is the the top level. So it looks like Hidden Power Ground 68 is all I'm getting with the 0. So let's see if I can't increase that to 70. Still 68. Maybe I have to do an odd number. Interesting. Oh, because I'm looking for the kid. All right, let's try that. Let's try that. Keep going until I can find a Hidden Power Ground 70. All right, so there we go. I have found the combo. An IV of 2 will get me a Hidden Power Ground of 70. Don't know why that took me so long to find, but there we have it. So what we're going to be doing is canceling the search. We don't need to let the search complete all the way. And what I want to do is find about 10 advancements. I find is the best amount. There are some like NPCs that can cause the advancements to change a little bit. And what I don't want is that to interfere too heavily, but I don't also want to have like a billion advancements. So I'll go with any of these that are the 10 advancements. I think that's my typical sweet spot for eggs. You can go a little higher if you're not so confident, but we'll do 10 for this video. Now, what we're going to do is click the Show Inheritance button. And what this does is it puts a bunch of A's and B's in here. And what that means is what stat we need to get from what parent. So if we take a look here for this one, we would need to find a parent B who goes in second. We'd need to have a 2 in attack and a 31 in defense, and that's all it needs to have. And then, this would only mean we'd need to only RNG one parent, which is the optimal result, actually. So the way this works is that the egg only inherits 3 IVs total from both parents. There are certain situations where it can be less than 3, but for the most part, it's going to be 3. And PokeFinder accounts for all the scenarios. Now, you could either have this as a situation like this spread here, where HP and special defense come from the first parent that we put into the daycare. That's what A means, right? A is the order that you put the parent into the daycare. So HP would need to be 31 and special defense would need to be 30. And that's what we need to get from our first parent that goes in. Then we would also need to have special attack be 30 from the second parent that we put in. But in this situation, what I found here is a parent that gets attack, defense, and special defense from just parent B. And so that means we actually don't need to have a parent A with any specific IVs. So if we look for this, let me apply the filters a bit stricter. We'll only do 10 advances for the IVs, and then we'll look for, we'll say parent A has 0s in everything, right? So we're gonna have parent A who has 0 in every single stat, and then parent B could have 0 in HP, 2 in attack, 31 in defense, 0 in special attack, special defense would be 31, and then speed could be 0. This is what our parents could be, and then if we hit search, this one could show up again. So as you can see, we have this scenario where this parent is like, we could have completely garbage parents. All we need is the 3 stats for parents B. So that's what I'm going to be going for. I'll just RNG one female Yanma that has these stats, and I could put them with any other Yanma. So I'm going to go and figure that out now. So we're going to close this window, and we're going to go into Gen for Wild, and we're going to click that button. And then we're going to go into the searcher section, and then we're going to go to PKtopia. Now, if you've never done Wild RNG before, that's okay. I'm going to walk you through how to do it here as well. But I'm going to also have a more in-depth guide on how to do that later on this week as well. Okay, so what we want to do is find our Pokemon. And now, in fact, I don't remember where Yanma is, but PokeFinder has this really handy feature where if you click the tools drop down here and then click encounter lookup, you can just within PokeFinder type Yanma, and then you could put what game you're playing in and then click find, and it will tell you what location and where it's going to be. So we're going to need to get to Route 35. So I'm going to do that. I believe I actually already, no, Route 35 is one more up. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so we are on Route 35 where Yanma is supposed to spawn. Thank you, PokeFinder. So now we can go for the wild search. So we're going to again click the wild button here, and then we're going to do method K. That is the method for wild Pokemon. And then our location is going to be Route 35. Time of day doesn't matter for us. A Yanma doesn't spawn at a specific time of day. Then we can click Yanma here. Yanma is pretty rare. So encounter is grass. Lead, we're going to set to none. And then min delay, we could set to 500. Max delay, set to 2000. Minimum advance is 30. We could drop that to about 10. Max advance 30. Minimum delay, maximum delay. This is basically how long you're willing to wait at the title screen. And then min advance, max advance is how many Chatot flips you're going to be willing to do. Then we're going to start looking for the Pokemon. Now, we want a female Yanma here. Gender ratio is 50-50. Hidden power, nature, none of this matters to us at all. We're not going to be using Everstone or anything like that. So none of this matters. For HP, doesn't matter to us. Attack, we need it to be 2. And if you're ever unsure, you can always just open back up the egg tab and it will pop right up and show you what you need. So I need 2 attack, 31 defense, 31 special defense. So 31 defense, 30 special defense. Everything else doesn't matter. And then we can click the search button and we will find probably plenty of Yanmas. So I'm going to cancel the search already. We're at 12% and we have more than enough. 10, I'll scroll a little bit higher than 10 just in case. Yeah, okay. So I'll scroll to here. So as we can see, we've got Oh, whoops, I did 0 to 31. We need to do 31 to 31 and 30 to 30. So you gotta always double check your stuff. There we go. I found it again. So we've got one here. Sure. There we go. We'll go with this one. Hidden Power Poison female. It's got 2 attack, 31 defense, 30 special defense. This is the exact parent we're going to be needing. So what you can do at this point is right click it, hit generate times for seed, and a new window called seed to time will open up. All right, this is what is known as the seed to time window. This is going to tell you the date and time you have to set your DS2 to RNG. So what we're going to do first is input a few pieces of info. The seed and year, you can leave that as such. Second, leave blank. Now for the roamers, that's what this section here is. What you can do is if you've got any of your roamers active, you need to write down their locations here. So I have Raikou active. Raikou is on route 42. Entei is on route 32. And Latias, I also have roaming. This could be Latias or Latios. I have on route 14. And then what you're going to do is click generate. And only do that if you have the actual roamers, you know, wandering around active, such like that. Then this will tell you the delay and the date and time. You could pick any of these date and times. None of them matter. If you want a specific date and time, you can go ahead, you know, looking for it down here. I'm just going to go with the first one that I see. What you're going to do is click it and then hit generate. Make sure before you hit generate here that delay plus and minus is at 200 and that second plus and minus is at 1. Hit search again. And so it's going to show us what our delay is, and that's going to be that. Now we are ready to pretty much start the actual RNG itself. The only thing I have forgotten to mention at this point is that we're going to need to make sure that we have Juggler Erwin registered in our Pokegear. He's the juggler right there south of the national park. So you can just talk to him and register him. He's very useful for this type of stuff. All right, with that said, we're ready to actually start the RNG itself. All right, so what we're going to want to do is change the date and time to what it's telling us in the Gen 4 seed to time section. So we're going to do 2022-1-1. So it's 1-1-2022, perfect. And then 9:47:59 is our time. So we're going to set it to 9:47. And then before we confirm this, we're going to go over to Eon Timer. And then in Eon Timer, what we're going to do is type the target delay, which is 731. And then we're going to type our target second, which is 59. And then what you're going to make sure is you look at here, it says minutes before target 0. That's fine. But if it said minutes before target 1, instead of 47, we'd go 46 because there's 1 minute before our target time. And so on and so forth. But because it's 0, we're just going to leave it here. Now, what we're going to do is hit start on Eon Timer at the same time as we hit A to save our date and time here. Eon Timer is going to begin counting down, and we could just turn off the DS. And what we're going to do is wait on the title screen until Eon Timer finishes counting down. When Eon Timer finishes counting down, it's going to beep 6 times, and then you're going to hit A on the final beep to load the game up. After that, you're going to mash A to get to the title screen, through the title screen as fast as possible to get to the save file select screen. All right, and now we're just going to mash the A button repeatedly until we can get to the title screen. Our delay is pretty short, so 7:31 is going to be pretty tight. We should make it with about 5 seconds to spare. We hit A there, and now I'm mashing the bottom Pokegear screen so we can bring that up immediately. So the first thing we're going to do is check our roamer locations. So we can see we've got Raikou on Route 37, Entei on 39. And if we take a look at here, Raikou 37, Entei 39, looks like we were 1 late. I'm going to scroll to see where Latias is as well. Latias is 21. So yes, we were 1 delay late. Now, I'll talk about how to adjust for this in a moment, but what we also need to do to confirm our seed is check the calls. So what we're going to do is call Erwin. And we're going to click the search calls button, and a little window is going to pop up. And we're going to just match Erwin's dialogue to our seed. So he says, how are you? That's P. And we're just going to match this to double confirm because the roamers aren't reliable enough on their own most of the time because the roamer locations will match up if your seconds are incorrect, but your delay is right. So we can't only use them. Now, every time we call Erwin in RNG, our advancement is done. So this we would have advanced 3 advancements on top of the roamer advances as well. Getting a lot of P's. And eventually the results will narrow down. Alright, so it says we got 1. Click 1. So it looks like our delay is 7:32, and we see, this is why we do the calls, right? We were 1 second early. So being 1 second early isn't a huge deal. You don't have to account for it too much, right? Second precision it's pretty lenient. So unless you repeatedly hit 1 second early, you're not going to it's just not going to be too big of a deal. And if I hit 1 second early again, I'll talk about how to deal with that. But what the bigger deal is our delay is 7:32. Now, our delay is 7:32. We were aiming for 7:31. Your console on a specific date and time can only hit either even or odds. And so to switch that, we're going to do something at the title screen, which is not going to be too big of a deal. But that is something to keep in mind, that we're going to have to do a little extra input. It might not be possible with the strictness of the timing I have, but let's see if we can get it done. But effectively, what we're going to have to do is scroll down on the save file select screen all the way, and then all the way back up to change the delay from even to odd, which is what we need. Now, there are a lot of different ways to change the delays from even to odd. You could change the date in here. If I change this to an odd year, my target delay would become even. So if I did this to 2021, I hit generate, see it becomes 7:32. Alternatively, you could insert a Gen 3 game. You could do Emerald or any of the Gen 3 games that are capable of activating Poke Transporter. And if you did that, it would also change the delay from even to odd or vice versa. So this is just something that you have to be mindful of. I'm doing the thing at the title screen, or the save file select screen rather, because I think it's the easiest one. So hopefully I wasn't a second early there. When you're a second early like that, you're most likely going to be like very, very, very close on the border of 58 and 59, etc. So here, watching me. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I'm going to scroll all the way back up. I think I was early on my delay that time. Okay, so mash the thing. Raikou is on 37 and Entei's on 44. So let's see where we're at. Oops. Yeah, so as you can see, I hit 7:27, but I'm actually on an odd delay at this point, which is good for me. I felt my button press was off there, so, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do an adjustment. I might as well put it into Eon Timer, though. So what you're going to do is go into delay hit, type the delay that you hit. I hit 7:27, click update, and it will change your calibrated delay here. And then you just have to try again. I'm going to change that back because that was a misinput from me, clearly. Just give that another whirl. All right. So at this point, because now you understand the general process for a wild RNG, I'm going to be doing pauses so that you guys don't have to watch the whole thing. Okay. And we mash. I'm not going to do a cut at this part because it's just so short. Mashing down so I can go all the way down. Alright, and now I'm mashing here. The reason you have to mash the Poke Gear is because there could be NPCs roaming around, and we do not want that. NPCs cause random advancements that could be detrimental to our success in the RNG. Okay, so let's take a look here. We have Raikou 34, Entei 31. So we were 1 delay early. So we were very close. I'll do an adjustment for that because that time I wasn't. That time I was not like too off. So 36, and try again. Okay. Here. Raiku's on 31, which is the route we want it on, I believe. And Entei should be on 36, which I believe he is, and Latias on 13. So, at this point, because I've been so close so many times, I'm going to go into Chatot to see if I can't actually get the proper, get to my proper target. So first, I'm going to copy the seed from up here. Then I'm going to hide this window for you all. And we're going to go back into the wild section of PokeFinder. And we're going to go into Generator. Now we're going to set up the same parameters for the most part in Searcher. Method K, route 35. Pokemon, we're going to not put the specific Pokemon, and we're going to set the lead to none. For here, we're also going to leave this all blank, and then we're going to hit Generate. Now, if we recall, our target was on Advance 11. So, we're going to search for Advance 11, make sure that's the play. 2, 31, 30, that's exactly what we want. Now, the roamers advanced 1 for every roamer that's active. So, 1, so if we did 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So we should be on Advance 3 or 4 or something like that, depending on if some NPCs were messing with us. Because, like I said, every time an NPC makes a random turn or move, they could cause an advancement. And we're going to be identifying this using Chatot calls. So this is going to be the pitch of their cry. So we're going to be looking for a low or a mid-low. Let's listen. That was pretty low. That was a bit higher, but it could have been a mid-high. Yeah, so we're on 8, I believe. And then we should be a mid-high here. And this should be lowish. Yeah. So we're going to want to stop 1 advance before our target. So our target is 11, and we're stopped at mid-low right now. And now what we're going to do is close out and use Sweet Scent on Oddish to encounter our parent. All right, we got a female Yanma. Perfect. Exactly what we need. So I'm just going to chuck Ultra Balls at this. I don't really have a great alternative. All right, so I've got the Yanma. And now we have our parent caught. Now, you can use any other parent because the situation I've ended in is that parent B is all that I needed. So we can just change it to make sure that any parent we're going to use could work. You could look up anything in Yanma's egg group. I'm going to see how Ditto will work out for me. So let me check that for us. So we're going to go into egg again. And let's see if I change male to a Ditto. See what comes up. It should be the same, but we'll see. Yep, there is no issue here at all. So perfect. So we could just use any random Ditto that we have. So now it's going to be time to start the breeding setup. So I'm going to get to the daycare and do that. All right. So we are in the daycare, and what we're going to first do is deposit the parents in the order that they are supposed to be. So like I said, if we take a look at my egg tab here, we've got Ditto as the first parent, and then we've got female as the second parent. So we're going to make sure to do that. We're going to make sure to do that in the proper order. So she'll ask us to raise parents, and we're going to do Ditto. And then we're going to say yes, and we're going to put Yanma in second. So after that happens, what we're going to do is go into the Poke Gear to make sure that we can record our roamer locations. Now, what we're going to want to do here is shift focus towards the IV section, or the PID section. But before we do that, we're going to want to pick out which of these IV spreads we want to go with. They're all the same, effectively. They're all Hidden Power Ground 70, exactly what I want. The special defense is coming from the parent, from our Yanma, who's got a 30 in it. The defense coming from our Yanma, the attack's coming from our Yanma. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm just going to right-click and click Generate Seeds for Time. And that's going to go, that is going to go over in the corner there. You're not going to see that for now. So we're just going to generate that window for now, and then we're going to switch over to PIDs. Now, PID, we're going to want 0 PID advancements. The PID is really, really easy to do. There's not going to be much of a difference for it in terms of actual execution, but it's just a lot less work. And now the PID, we're going to uncheck show inheritance for now. And the PID is where all the other stuff comes in. So we want to know which ability that we want, gender, etc. I don't care about gender. I would like a shiny. Now there's 4 options for shiny. There's any, star, square, and star square. I'll go for square shiny because it's the rarer one, if you believe that. And then the nature, you know, the nature also depends. Modest or timid are both good on a Yanma. I'm gonna go with modest. I think it's the more general purpose, good nature for it. And for the ability, what you could do is look up the ability on Cerebi to see, or in like Pika Hex or something to see which ability is 1 or 0. I think that while Speed Boost is the classic Yanmega set, I'm going to go with Tinted Lens because it is hilarious. So we're going to go ability 1, Tinted Lens. And now what we're going to do is click search, and you're going to see you're going to get tons of, you're probably going to get tons of results right away. I picked square, so there's a chance it's going to be less, but we did still get one anyway. And there you go. So we have a square, modest with ability 1, and then we have male, female. I'll go with male. And what we're going to do is just pick out one of these seeds. It really doesn't matter. Hit generate times for seed. And now what we're going to do is take a look at our seed to time. Okay, so in our seed to time here, we're going to be doing the same thing that we did last time. So we're going to write down our roamer locations. So Raiku's on 36. Oh, no, is it 30? No, he's on 36 for sure. Yeah. Raiku's on 36. Entei is on 32. And Latias is on 12. Then we're going to click generate. Then we're going to pick one of these out. And hit generate. And we're going to find what we need to do. So we need to, at this point, save the game and turn it off. And go back to the typical RNGing process that we did last time. Now, for just the PID, you actually don't even need Chadots. All you're going to do is generate an egg. It's very, very simple. I would still have Irwin, though, because you can verify your seed. Irwin doesn't actually cause advancements for egg PID. The egg PID, strangely, uses a different type of RNG than is typical in these games. So it's a bit weird, but, you know, it still works out fine. So our date and time is 1-4. And so, but because of that, Irwin and Chadon and stuff, they don't affect the egg. The only thing that affects egg's advancements is, like, getting and receiving the egg, basically. So our time is 12:59:59 on 1-4. We're going to go into Eon Timer, and we're going to change the target delay to 862. We're going to make the target second 59 still. Totally fine. And we save, and we're just going to do a normal run. Timer's running out. So, if we remember from last time, I hit a even delay naturally, so I'm actually probably going to hit an even delay this time. And so I'm not going to have to do any extra work at the title screen. I had to do the extra work to switch it from even to odd. So we're going to bring up this right away. Check where our roamers are at. Raiku's on 46, Entei's on 43. It looks like we were 1 delay late, probably. Yes, I would say so. So we just got to give it another rip. 1 delay, I'm not going to adjust for that unless I'm not going to adjust for 1 delay late if I've hit, unless I've hit it multiple times in a row as 1 late. You know what I mean? All right, try again. Let's see. 32 and 36. So let's see where we're supposed to be. 32, 36 is the correct locations for them. Latias should be 15. Yes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is call Irwin to verify that we are on the correct one. So we're going to do the search calls situation again. Now, like I said, Irwin here doesn't do any extra advancements, so you could just call him as many times as necessary. Hear about your escapades rocks my world. E again. How are you? P. I believe we were on it. EEP. We're probably going to get another P next. Gonna go EE again. Yep. And we're gonna go to P. You see the results are narrowing down. And like I said, none of these advancements matter. The egg is advanced on egg advanced 0. So it's like, it's its own thing that doesn't use the typical PRNG. Or you. Right. Oh, whoops, I clicked the wrong button. It was P. Let's see. Hopefully we're done here. Okay. And we are on the correct seed. So now what we're going to do is leave the daycare and run around until an egg is generated. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Oh, all right, an egg is generated. So now what we're going to do is open the Poke Gear. And what we're going to do is, in the other seed to time window, we're going to write down Raikou and Entei's new locations. So that's very important. So we're going to switch to the different seed to time. So here's the seed to time for the eggs. Or for the IVs. And so we're going to want to do is write down our roamer locations in here for this one. So Raikou is on 36. Because, you know, running up and down the routes is going to change where they were when we last, when we had last done this. In Route 9 for Latias. So we're going to write that down, and then we're going to save the game. So we're going to be saving it before we receive it, but what we're going to do immediately after this is receive the egg and hatch it. And this is going to confirm that we've hit the proper Yanma. Now, if all you wanted was a shiny, at this point, you're done. When you receive this egg, it will hatch shiny. The egg is done generating at this point. There is nothing more that it really needs to do. If you just wanted a shiny. So, you know, shiny egg RNG, very quickly. All you need is a Ditto and the parent. You don't really have to worry about anything specific. The only thing that could even take a long time is hatching the egg and getting the old man to actually hold an egg. But if you're going for IVs, after this, what we're going to do is confirm it's a shiny by hatching it, and then turn off the game. That's why we saved in front of the old man, because he on that save file, is holding a shiny egg. And it will stay shiny as long as you don't receive it from him, right? Or deny it from him. And the IVs are generated when you actually get the egg from him. So because they're generated at 2 separate points, we just generate the shiny first, save the game, turn it off, turn it back on, and simple as that. Alright, eggs hatching. Let's see, should be blue. There you go. Perfect. So we got the shiny Yanma so far, and we should double check to make sure it's the proper nature and ability. Modest and Compound Eyes. Compound Eyes, I believe, turns into... I'll double check this. I believe Compound Eyes turns into Tinted Lens. Yes, it does. Okay, perfect. So at this point, we can turn it off, and now what we're going to do is the exact same process, but for the IVs. So we're going to get that set up. So the first thing I had set up was this seed to time here with the proper roamer locations. And we're just going to pick that date and time. Like I said, just pick the first one. It's the easiest, right? Then what we're going to do is go back into the egg section, Gen 4 eggs, in the generator. So in the generator, what we're going to do is copy the seed that we've got in seed to time and paste it here. And then for the parents, we're going to put the same exact situation as the parents here. So we're going to just do 0, 0, 0 to 31, right? These IVs here, they don't really matter that much. Parent 1 is ditto. Parent 2 is female. It will affect what the other children show up as. But it's okay because we're probably not going to be hitting the wrong parent, or we're probably not going to be hitting the wrong frame very much. So we could see here, I believe our target is 12. Oh, what happened here? So I believe our target is 12. This gets us the HP ground 70. And we're going to be using chatbots to verify where we're at. Now, there are some roaming NPCs here, so we have to look out for that. But in the meantime, let's get the date and time set up and see how difficult it is. So the month, oh, it's 1. Whoops. 1/1/2022. Okay. And the time is 21:011. So the time is 21:0, and then our target seconds is 11. So let's put that in there. And our delay is 1350. So it says minutes before target is 1, so that means we're going to go do 20:59. All right, with the date and time set, we just give it a rip. So we have Raikou on 44, Entei on 46, and Latias on 2. So this is the correct arrangement. But I'm not going to even use Erwin at all. I'm just going to be using Chadots. To get the correct position in the RNG. Because if I don't do that, if I use Erwin is going to have too many calls for me to... Erwin's going to have too many calls for me to actually like be able to be useful, so... we should be around frame 3, maybe a little bit more. Okay, that was pretty high. That was low. Still low. Could be like here. Alright, I think we're here. I think we're on 11. You just have to get used to discerning which Chatot pitch is which. That's your only way out of this. Alright, and hopefully we get the proper egg. I'm just going to hatch it. I'll pause for you guys. Alright, so the egg is hatching. We knew it would be shiny because we did that already. So now we just have to check for the IVs and the hidden power. So we can check first for the IVs. Use the IV checker in the battlefront here. So let's see. Our IVs are supposed to be... So we should only get... Oops. We should only get 331s. We should get HP, defense, and speed. HP. Alright. Defense. Okay. And let's see, speed, please. Okay, so it's pretty good. Now what we can do is confirm the hidden power. We could either do that by teaching Yanma hidden power, oops, or we could do it by just flying to the hidden power checker in Celadon. I'll be using the hidden power checker because I think it's just easier. You don't waste a TM or whatever. I mean, I'm not going to waste a TM because I RNG'd for hidden power. You know what I mean? It's just fine to do it this way is my main point here. Let's see. Ground. Perfect. And so that is how to get the perfect egg RNG in this game. If you've got any questions, please leave them down below or join my Discord for further help. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.